Sup, everybody? Just left work today, July 9th, 2000. And then I just heard about another ICE murder in Houston, where a man about my age named Lorenzo Araujo was gunned down by ICE agents who were trying to apprehend him for being undocumented. This undocumented status isn't in question, yes. Lived in the United States for over 30 years, around 35 years. Had 3 children that were American citizens, all of them very successful. One of them a teacher. I'm not sure what the other two do, but they both graduated from college and they work hard. He works really hard, or worked really hard. He was a construction worker for 35 years, and he spent most of his life building homes in the suburban Houston area for residents there. He built his own home with his own hands, with the help of his sons. And his son was talking about how he used to spend time on his porch listening to music at the end of a workday, just relaxing and spending time with his family. That's what he loved. That's what he loved doing. He came here for the opportunity to make a better life. And he came here 35 years ago when things were much, much different, when the climate in this country was much more different. It's much more different. So apparently ICE thinks this is the guy we want to go get. This is the person we need to snatch up and deport. He wasn't a rapist. He wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't a terrorist. He wasn't a criminal. He didn't commit any violent crimes. As far as I know, he kept his nose clean. And ICE said, this is the guy we want. I'm sure there are other people in Houston that are undocumented, that are real criminals, that are out there committing actual violent crimes and doing harm to people. But no, it's easier to go after a construction worker with an address and a family, because maybe it's because they believe they can just get this person into custody real quickly without incident. They're not going to put up that much of a fight, right? Well, as of now, I don't know what happened. I didn't see the video. I don't know if there is a video. I don't know that if there is a video, we will ever see an unedited video. But ICE is claiming that Araujo tried to run down the agent. And this is the go-to every single time there is an ICE-involved killing. There's always an excuse as to why these agents were scared for their lives. Always some kind of reason. And, go back to Renee Good in Minneapolis. They said that she tried to run down the agent. And yet when you watch the video, she was turning away from the agent, who had rounded the front of her car and was standing near the front driver's side fender, nowhere near in danger of being run over. And yet that agent shot her in the face and murdered her and got away with it. Got away with it. Let's just face it. That agent is never going to see a trial. He's never going to stand before a judge. He's never going to serve time in prison for what he did. Likewise, the gang of agents who wrestled Alex Preddy to the ground, disarmed him, and then pumped 9 or 10 bullets into him. They're never going to see justice. They will never see a single day behind bars. And there are other cases. There are dozens of people who have either died at the hands of ICE or while in ICE custody. There are dozens, maybe even hundreds of cases of detainees being abused and starved and assaulted, even sexually assaulted. And nobody's doing anything about that because half the country they're so turned up about them. Oh, they shouldn't be here in the first place. Well, they are here and they're human fucking beings. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, this is a thing that really frustrates me, because we reduce people's humanity to a point of geography. And then a lot of my fellow Americans, yes, I'll have to own that these are my fellow Americans, and I hate that fact that these are my fellow Americans that are judging these people and saying they shouldn't be here for whatever reason. They have a myriad of reasons. They think that they're criminals, or they think that they're going to harm them somehow, or they're going to take their jobs. But the fact of the matter is, the overwhelming majority of these people come here to work, and that's exactly what they do. They work incredibly hard, and many times they're not even paid fairly for what they do. And in far too many cases, their contributions to this country far outweigh any cost of them being here illegally or undocumented. This is a prime case. Lorenzo Araujo did not deserve to die. He did not deserve to be on an ICE snatch list. He did not deserve to be accosted by ICE agents who attempted to detain him and take him away to a detention facility where they were going to throw him out of the country. He didn't deserve that. And if you think he did deserve that, then shame on you. Fucking shame on you. I guarantee you that this man worked harder in his 35 years here than these freaking powdered ass, lily white trust fund babies whose only talent is moving money from one place to another, not actually working, never swung a hammer in their life, never had to pay a bill in their life, never had to worry about whether or not the lights were on, never had to worry about, is that cartel going to come down my street and drag me out of the house and cut my throat in the middle of the night because I don't like drug wars in my neighborhood. Maybe think about why these people are leaving Mexico or leaving Central America and coming here, because a lot of our own drug war policy going back 40, 50 years has enabled the cartels to come into such a huge amount of power and wealth to the point where, yeah, they can get away with this shit. But now we have our own cartel right here in the United States, and it's called the Donald J. Trump administration, the presidency of Donald J. Trump. It's a fucking cartel, and you can't tell me it isn't a cartel. You can't tell me at this point that this is not operating like some kind of criminal gang that you would normally see in some type of Grand Theft Auto video game. This is exactly what it is. Why are we tolerating this? Why? Why are Americans just sitting by and pretending like this is normal, this is America? How many times are the people of this country gonna stick their heads in the sand and pretend that shit's not fucked up? I thought it reached a new low in this country before Trump even got elected the first time. I thought it reached a new low when in December of 2014, 20 people, including 13 or 14 first graders, were gunned down and turned into fucking hamburger by a maniac who stole his mother's guns and decided, I'm gonna mow down a fucking school today. I thought we hit rock bottom when at that point we just said we refuse to do anything about this. When America washed our hands of this, when we washed our hands of the mass shooting in Las Vegas that killed nearly 60 people and injured hundreds, we'd rather listen to Alex Jones or all the conspiracy nuts or all the NRA propaganda. It was just some false flag operation. Oh no, it couldn't have been just a maniac who had a gun who shouldn't have had a gun. And we can't do anything about guns because it's the Second Amendment. We can't do anything about the guns because, oh my God, they're going to take my guns. And what am I going to do? How am I going to defend myself against the tyrannical government? The tyrannical government is fucking here. It's here. And just because they're not killing you in the street doesn't mean they won't someday. Wake the fuck up. How can you be so abysmally fucking stupid? How? The minute any government can classify somebody's existence as a matter of legality is the moment where nobody has any civil rights. Nobody. Because they can just take them away from you on a whim. They can persecute you for your ideology. If you don't like fascism and you consider yourself an anti-fascist, well, guess what? You are now a terrorist, according to the Trump administration. You are a terrorist, and you can be sentenced to extremely long prison sentences for the type of offenses that would normally get, at most, 5, 10, or 15 years. Maybe longer in the case of the officer who got shot. But for distributing zines, somebody gets 70 years in prison for distributing information, for opinion, for political speech. Oh, no, he was obstructing justice. Well, when was the last time somebody got 70 fucking years for obstructing justice? Miss me entirely with that shit. Unbelievable. I can't believe that Americans are so scared to speak out. I can't believe that Republicans are willing, for the sake of power, to tuck their own genitals between their legs and bow down to somebody like Donald fucking Trump. Why? Why? If there's ever a case of the emperor not wearing clothes, it's this guy. If there's ever a case of somebody who shouldn't even, be taken seriously, and yet he is. And yet he's able to rob this country blind and pull the wool over the eyes of a good chunk of our citizenry and get them to support things that even 30 or 40 years ago wouldn't have even flied in conservative circles. What the fuck is wrong with America? So what do we do? I don't even know if anybody's going to see this video. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. I don't know if the algorithm is going to suppress it based on what I said. If I don't censor out the offensive words, it might hurt somebody's feelings. Or, God, you can't say that because, well, no, then we'll have to demonetize you. I don't want money. All I want is for people to get off their feet, get off their feet, get on their ass. Strike that, reverse it. get on their feet and get off their ass. Sorry, I'm a little amped up. Do that. Do something. Speak out. Protest. Get involved. Hold your elected officials accountable. Stop accepting the status quo. Stop doing the first low-grade effort and going, oh, well, I can't do anything else. You can't fight City Hall. Bullshit. If you can't fight City Hall, then I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. Nope. Nope. Not going to say that. But you absolutely can fight City Hall. It's been done. It just takes guts and perseverance and the willingness to put some skin in the game. And it doesn't have to be rioting. It doesn't have to be violence. It doesn't have to be, becoming just as belligerent as they are. It takes brains, takes a little creativity. My idea is very simple. Stop complying. What does that mean, Matt? You say, what does it mean to stop complying? Well, let me tell you something about this country. We are a pretty massive country. And there's still a lot of things that we do in America that makes America run. What if 10% of that workforce just didn't work? Sure, okay, those people wouldn't get paid, obviously. It would put some stress on people financially, of course. But it's kind of like the people in that detention facility in New Jersey who went on a hunger strike. Of course, they're risking bodily harm by going on a hunger strike. You're not supposed to starve to death, you need food. And yet, a lot of those prisoners went on hunger strikes because they couldn't stand the deplorable conditions that they were being held in, knowing full well that it was a risk to their health. I'm not saying go on a hunger strike, but how about a general strike? How about enough people across many different industries just say, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this country until it changes, until we stop doing these awful things here and abroad. The people have always had the power. Don't be fooled by Donald Trump. Don't be fooled by his arsenal of thugs. Don't be fooled by the talking heads and people are like, you can't do anything. We have all the power. No, don't be fooled by those people. You do have the power. And don't be fooled by a pretend opposition who decries these types of incidences and attacks and murders. It's the mainstream Democrats. Don't be fooled by them who will condemn something like this in one breath and then vote to fund ICE in the next. Those people are not your friends. Those people are not the solution to this problem. The only solution is to get a critical mass going in which a good portion of our population, not all, but a good chunk, maybe 20-25%, especially if teachers are involved. Oh, God, I pray for a nationwide teacher strike. Nationwide, 50% of teachers don't show up to work. You know what happens? Everything grinds to a halt. You know why? Because parents now have to have their kids home with them or take them to work or find other schooling arrangements. It will be a disaster for the economy and the GDP of the United States of America. We will take the biggest crap, and it will all be because Donald Trump and his administration are allowing and encouraging murders, because there's two alternatives to just stopping everything and just bringing the country to a halt. The only two alternatives, we just take it. We just continue accepting this until somebody else gets in office and then finds a reason why we need to keep ICE around. And then maybe it doesn't happen so often, but it still happens once in a while. And, maybe there's, the kids in cages aren't as sensationalized or the concentration camps aren't as prominent, but they might still be there. Unless we get rid of those things, unless we get rid of ICE, then what the hell's the point of shuffling the deck? The other option is something that I really can't mention because it leads to the end of the country as we know it. And I know that's what some people want. I know there are accelerationists out there that want this. They want the fight. I understand that urge sometimes. I really do. I'm hopping mad right now myself. I've had to button my own lips right here in this recording. And I'll tell you, we can't do that. We can't do that. We've already done the whole brother versus brother, sister versus sister, American versus American thing. We can't do that. I never thought I'd grow up in a country that would rip itself apart so rapidly. And all it took was one con man to rip off the mask and show so many of us who the rest of our fellow citizens really were. And my heart breaks. It really does. I want to love my country again. I want to be proud of my country again. I want to believe that this is truly a land of opportunity for anyone who comes here and works hard and contributes. And it doesn't matter to me what someone's status is. It matters to me who they are and what they want to do. It also matters to me why they're coming here. You know, maybe they're coming here. It has nothing to do with our policies in other countries, but maybe their countries are just dangerous places to live, like in Haiti, where it's dangerous to live there. There's no actual official government. It's being run by gangs. And the people that are going to be sent back there are literally being sent to their deaths after coming here and being invited and welcomed here as refugees and asylum seekers and settling in places like Springfield, Ohio, where they helped the economy of that town by filling jobs because there were more jobs than there were people. And they came in and saved the day. And they were rewarded by being completely tarred and feathered by J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, all because of a post on Facebook that some lady thought that some Haitian ate her cat when her cat was just in the basement the whole time. What harm people wring from their own prejudice, from their own delusional, racist thinking about people. Instead of just, I don't know, fucking talk to somebody. Go up and talk to somebody. Talk to an immigrant. Talk to them. I bet you they do speak English and speak English far better than you would speak the language that they learned first. I can't speak Creole. I can't speak French. Hell, I can't even manage Spanish. Americans are so scared. It's fear. We are afraid. We're afraid of everyone and everything. Maybe we should be. Hell, it doesn't matter if we're afraid of people on the other side of the world or people in our own country. But it's really disappointing and disheartening. And I really hope that one day we can get over this shit. Because if not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. My heart's broken today. Every person that ICE kills or neglects in custody and allows to die or mistreats and abuses, this is like Abu Ghraib every day. Every single day, there is a new atrocity. Every single day. Our government is responsible for death and destruction, fraud, thievery, waste, corruption on a scale I don't think Richard Nixon, on his wildest day, could hold a candle to just one day of office in Trump. And yet we just sit here and accept it as normal. Everything, it's all normal. Everything's fine. We're the meme of the guy from Adventure Time in the burning house. It's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing's wrong here. It's just the world we live in now. Well, it doesn't have to be. But one person, 10 people, 100 people can't do it. You know, we can't do it by ourselves. We can't change it by ourselves. It's going to take a lot of effort to push back against this. And it's going to take us rolling up our sleeves and putting together a focused and combined effort with politics, with protest, with civil disobedience, with getting the word out, and with not giving up. We can't give up. We just can't. This is absolutely convoluted, man. I'll see you next time.